Now, if you think about it, it seems as if the phrase suggests that love strips you of your logic, your ability to reason, and your clarity. That it covers your eyes like a blindfold and just makes you stumble into someone's arms without caring about reality. I know that you've heard the saying over 1,000 times by now. Love is blind. It gets tossed around casually like it's some type of universal truth. But really, people use it to explain why someone falls for the wrong person and why they stay in an unhealthy relationship or why they overlook the flaws that everybody else seems to see. But here's the question. Is love truly blind, or is it just a myth that we repeat because it sounds poetic? Now, if you think about it, it seems as if the phrase suggests that love strips you of your logic, your ability to reason, and your clarity. That it covers your eyes like a blindfold and just makes you stumble into someone's arms without caring about reality. But the more that you live, the more relationships that you go through, the more you start to question, is it blindness or is it really a choice? Now, we all understand that when you first meet someone and fall in love, it does feel like blindness. You tend to overlook their flaws. You don't care that she talked too much, or you don't care that he never calls you or texts you back whenever he says that he will. You just convince yourself that it just really doesn't matter. But the people on the outside are shaking their heads like, don't you see what's really going on? And you know what? They're probably right. You don't see what's going on. Because that stage of love, that first stage of love, it's not blindness, it's infatuation. It's those feel-good chemicals that has hijacked your brain. You're not blind, you're just on cloud 9 right now. You're on cloud 9 because of their touch, because of their attention, because of their presence. You're intoxicated, and intoxication always clouds judgment. But here's the thing, eventually the high wears off. Now, real love, if it's really real love, isn't about blindness. It's about seeing clearly and choosing anyway. Choosing to stay, choosing to accept. Blindness fades. Choice remains. But let's kind of start from the beginning here. Falling in love, right? Right. Okay. The first stage when everything feels electric. You meet someone and the air just suddenly feels different. The sound of their voice just lingers long after you hung up the phone, and you start rearranging your life just to be around them. And it's in that stage that it really does feel like blindness. You overlook things. So why do people call it blindness in the first place? Because it's easier than admitting that you made a mistake. I mean, come on, let's think about it. How many times have you looked back at a relationship and said, I should have seen the warning signs, or I should have known better? It's just more comforting to believe that you were blind rather than to admit that you saw the red flags and ignore them. But saying love is blind is like putting a Band-Aid on regret. It makes failure feels less like a choice and more like fate. But the truth is that love does not blind you. It sharpens you. It sharpens your vision because you start noticing things about that person that others don't notice. The way her nose wrinkles when she laughs, the way that his eyes squint whenever he smiles. That's not blindness. That's focus. The myth that love is blind exists because it excuses pain. But love, when it's real, it helps you see deeper. But here's where the myth love is blind is dangerous. It's when you convince yourself that love is blind, that you might let it excuse behavior that should never be excused. Let's say that you're with someone who's constantly putting you down. And instead of you walking away, you tell yourself, well, love is blind. This is just how it works. I'm supposed to overlook it. And then before you know it, you're stuck in a toxic relationship. Love wasn't meant to be blind. It's meant to open your eyes wider. If someone truly loves you, they won't demand blindness. They will actually want you to see them for who they are. See me for who I am. Know my flaws. And if you stay, let it be because you choose me, not because you can't see the truth. Just think back to the time when you said that you was blind in love. Were you really blind? Or did you see the truth and ignored it because you were hopeful? Maybe you knew that she wasn't committed. You saw the late replies, the excuses, the distance that she had created. But you held on anyway because you thought that maybe she would change. Or maybe you saw his temper. You knew his words would cut you very deep, but you told yourself that love will soften him. You weren't blind. You were hopeful. And hope can actually be a dangerous thing when it ignores reality. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being hopeful because we all give love the benefit of the doubt and at least a chance to prove itself. So we have to understand that love isn't about blindness. It's about acceptance. It's about seeing someone fully, their strength, their weaknesses, their habits, their flaws, and choosing to stay. Now, let's just be fair. Because being blind in love doesn't always pertain to that love at first sight type of blindness. Like, say, for instance, you forgive faster than you should. Or when you give that person yet another chance after they messed up over and over and over again. Now, to the outsider, it looks foolish. But to you, it feels like loyalty. So now in saying that, maybe love isn't blind. Maybe it's selective sight because you choose what to magnify and what to minimize, and you choose just what matters the most. And so now, no matter which way it goes, here's the toughest part. When the fog lifts and you begin to see clearly, you face a choice, and your choice is, do I stay or do I leave? For a lot of people, when it comes down to making that choice like that, people choose to stay because they liked the blindness because it was easier. They weren't ready for the weight of reality. But if you can stand in the light of clarity and still say that I choose you, that's where love proves itself. And so now, is love truly blind? No. Infatuation is blind. Desire is blind. Hope can be blind. But love is vision. Love is the courage to see someone fully and choose them anyway. Because love at its best isn't about losing sight. It's about having your eyes wide open and still saying, I'm here. I choose you.